Good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. I'm Juntarhenogu, and I must apologize that I hadn't posted a video recently, and that was due to Halloween and Halloween preparations, because I was hosting a party at the time. But now that Halloween's over, I have more time to talk about random things that I want to talk about. And one particular thing would have to be high school extracurricular activities. Even more specific than that would happen to be academic extracurricular activities that I took part in. That sounded like a tongue twister, but it probably wasn't. Anyway, there is a specific question I do have for you all today, and that is, what is a very common extracurricular activity that people have done in high school or college? Far as I know, the one that I took part in was probably very uncommon, or at least the ones I took part in, barring the play. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have done plays. But there is one specific one I wanted to talk about today, and that was the academic team. You see, I wasn't exactly the most into school stuff or after school stuff, and that was mainly because I took the bus to and from school. I would have to take the bus 3 miles to school every morning, and walking would be a pretty big problem going to and from school because it was 3 miles, and I happen to live in a climate that can get down to -3 degrees Fahrenheit, which may be easy for some of you, but it may be deathly cold for others. Regardless, it has been able to get down to that almost every year, and boy does it get cold. That aside, it was very hard for me to be able to find the time to actually stay after school and work on something, and one particular one was the academic team. Now, this one wasn't one that I auditioned for or anything. I just had friends who were in the academic team, and these friends of mine were very smart people, and they were people that you would actually expect to be a part of an academic team. The reason I joined was because they pressured me into joining, peer pressure for the win, I guess, and I ended up going after school one time, and then suddenly I was a part of the team just because I was there. Despite there not being a lot of people there, it was still well established. They already had the 5 people that they needed to stay inside of the team, and then they had small replacers for certain rounds that would happen during games. While I have the subject of games on, for the academic team there were 4 rounds for each game. The first round was kind of like a take turns answering a question, and if you can't get it, the enemy opposite you can have a chance to get it. If they don't get it, then no one gets the point. No points are deducted. The second round is where it's the smart people who will take part in it. So it's 5 people get together as a team, and they both have to try and answer the question as quickly as possible and as accurately as possible. And if they get it right, there's points added to the point ticker at the end. I don't know what it's called. Buzzer? There was a buzzer. It was really loud. Anyway, the third round was one that I never took part in. And this round is actually for, there's the academic team, and then there was the debate part of the academic team. And what would happen was there would be a separate team of people who would actually focus on the debate and learn different things and different sides of a debate. And they'd have to give their best spiel on whatever topic was given to them, and they would get points on that based off their overall performance. The final round, the one that I liked the most, was the lightning round, and as you can guess, it's kind of like a game show where you have to be the first to answer. If you get it wrong, you lose points, but if you get it right, you gain points. So that was just kind of a summary of what we dealt with when we played the games. While there were a lot of very fun games that we had, the majority of what I think of is the practices that we had. In these practices, they actually gave us a sheet of answers to all the questions, and this isn't cheating at all. It's you have to memorize these questions for the quizzes themselves, so when you get asked the questions, you know how to answer them properly. And it's kind of like being able to understand random trivia, not to the point of like a game show would be, but to the point of what a high school academic thing would be. I said high school very strangely there. In any case, there was one particular practice where all these smart people that we had these buzzers that we used for practice, and they had like the same arrangement. You'd press the button, light would show up, and someone would answer the question. And we wanted to use these buzzers just so we could get practice with buzzing in and answering on the spot and kind of have a better feel for it. Problem was, the buzzers apparently didn't work. And we spent 30 minutes trying to figure out why these buzzers didn't work, why we couldn't get the buzzers to turn on at all. We checked the wiring, we checked the buttons themselves, and we checked the lighting. And the 30 minutes finished, and then we all finally realized that no one had plugged in the machine. It took us 30 minutes to do the most basic thing of making sure it was plugged in. And we're all smart people, I think. I don't know anymore if we can't figure out how to plug in something, but we were all computer savvy and everything. It's just we forgot to plug in the buzzer, and that was kind of how our practice went that day. We didn't really get much done at all, to be honest. Practices aside, I'm pretty sure people are actually interested in knowing how well our team did. Well, I will say that we did win the district version, so like we beat all the schools in the district. We moved on to state and we won state, so we moved on to nationals, and we lost and we got 4th place in nationals. Woo! Pardon me, goodness. That was a loud sneeze. Anyway, there was a strange technicality in our round against Arizona. At least that's what I recall the enemy team being. There was a technicality with the round that we lost in, and that technicality took 30 minutes. A question was incorrectly answered when a certain thing happened, so everyone was debating if it was okay or not. That took 30 minutes, and because of that 30-minute wait time of all of us sitting there, not being able to move or talk or anything, our morale decreased drastically. And because of that, we ended up losing, along with our star player, who was apparently having a very off day, and just kind of like how we were all extremely flustered. It was an unfortunate turn of events, but that's what ended it. We got 4th place in the nationals, though, so that was actually pretty commendable, I suppose. All of this aside, it does kind of make me wonder if this was a normal extracurricular activity for people to take part in, or if it was something that was a little too strange. I don't know. What do you guys think? Why don't you let me know down in the comments below, and then I'll get back to you as soon as possible on that. I guess I could say that I was on some sort of game show for school and ended up getting 4th place in a national competition, so yay for me.